Welcome to Eminence Unfiltered podcast number 23. Yes, this is the 23rd podcast, right? So, we've been delivering our best, means we want to make sure that we are introducing all the leaders to you and bringing their personal life and how they reach where they are from a while now. And we're really glad and we want to thank you all our avid listeners and viewers who have given us so much of love and feedback as well to hear the next podcast as well. So today we have our guest in our studio, Miss Jyoti Sardesai. She's a former FDA director, Goa, and she has a 40 years of experience with 8 years in the pharmaceutical industry and 32 years in the regulatory body. And her passion about organic eating and lifestyle and healthy lifestyle as well is very, and she's a very high promoter for FSI initiative on Eat Right. And we'll talk more to her about her career, leadership journey, and about eating right as well. How are you doing, Jyoti?
Yeah, I'm good. First of all, let me congratulate you on the successful conference that you had for 2 days
Thank
on
you.
pharma manufacturing and innovation and the glittering excellence award ceremony.
Thank you very much, and thank you could make time for that.
Yes, of course.
Right,
Yeah, nice.
because I understand that means all the jury members were there except Professor Ratnesh and Appaji,
Appaji could not make
and
it.
I'm
Yeah.
glad that you could be there, means not
Yes.
only to be the part of the jury but also to be there in person. Thank you for
Yes,
that.
yes. It was a nice, correct.
So the reason behind this podcast is because we want to understand the leaders. So our viewers are more interested to know. They know who you are, what you did professionally. They want to know who you are really behind the whole facade of the leader. So if you can tell me more about you and your hobbies.
Well, I was born in a middle class family in the early 60s, a couple of years after the liberation of Goa. So, Goa those days was totally different from what it is now. So, at home, we had a deeply religious atmosphere, and at uh, school, I had some teachers who really imbibed the values of truth, honesty, sincerity, dedication, hard work, commitment, right at the impressionable age. And I have these values with me till today. And this is what has helped me a lot in my personal and professional career. When I see my academic career has been always throughout first class.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, I did my Master of Pharmaceutical Sciences when I was in the service.
Okay.
I took study leave, and I was the first one at FDA to achieve this. And this paved a way for my other colleagues then to pursue post graduation for their promotional aspects.
Okay.
So, in the mid 80s, there were hardly any pharmaceutical industry in Goa. Very small units which were there, which you could count on the fingertips. So, I started my career with public sector, uh, Goa Antibiotics and Pharmaceuticals. So, my first assignment was in microbiological analysis. And there I was selected for a specialized training at Hindustan Antibiotics Pune.
Okay.
Okay. And then, see, those days in 1985, for a young girl to travel, to make arrangements for accommodation, food, everything, it was, you can imagine. Now, in today's days, you will find that it is not a
It's
great
very
thing at all.
progressive now,
Right.
yes.
But then I completed it successfully. And see, whatever I've achieved, my selection initially in the industry, there in government, has been strictly on merit. So the atmosphere at my maternal family as well as with my husband's family has been like, progressive and encouraging. So that is why I could opt to take this first woman drug inspector at the FDA.
Support is
Way
very
back in,
important,
right, and
right?
this was way back in 1992. So support from the family is very important for such matters.
Absolutely.
That is what. And being a lady, it was not a easy task because it was a male dominated. In fact, so many people were dissuading me from entering the job. They're saying that it is field duties are involved, lot of things are involved, and all that. But still, with my commitment, I said, let me take this up. And I think I did full justice to the career that I chose.
That is commendable. That is indeed
Right.
commendable.
So I was the first woman drug inspector, and there were hardly few all over the country. Then I was the first to be the assistant drugs controller, then the deputy director, and then director and the commissioner of food safety. This is what I like to be straightforward, truth, and transparent. That is what. And I believe in simple living in my behavior. So, and these values, like, they cost you a lot professionally as well as personally, because I don't like lies or, this this to be thinking bad about others or trying to harm someone. So this is what those things, and inefficiency. I don't like these things. So that is what. So always I try to be helpful to others in whatever possible way. I always like to be happy. I want to see happy faces around. So if I see anybody with a sad face, like, immediately it comes to my mind, can I be of any help to him? So
Yes,
this
I
is the
understand.
thing.
So you're very
Yeah.
empathetic, basically. So when you see
Exactly.
somebody else also unhappy, it kind of impacts you
Yeah.
somewhere down the
This is
line.
what. Yeah.
Right, right. No, I totally get it. I think that's a problem with every empathetic person. So whenever they see somebody else gloomy, they just want to do something about it and they feel their pain,
Right.
right?
So this is what. So always I say, be happy. Everyone, I say, always be happy.
Right.
That is the thing.
I think this is the empathetic. I read an article about you, and now I'm able to relate what you said about the empathy, and it was a very beautiful article that I read long time back, and it was about the contribution, how you helped so many people during the 2020, because you just retired now, right,
Yeah.
this year, and in 2020 you did a lot for people in Goa
Yeah.
while people were like shut because they were in their houses trying to save themselves from COVID. And I read an article where it mentioned that means, you guys did not even bother to travel to people to help them with provisions
Right.
and medicines and everything. Tell me more about that.
Yes, the work, in fact, in my personal capacity and as a department head, we did, it was really commendable. And if you ask me, I'll consider that this is the most satisfying part of my career for being in service to humanity. See, those days when this COVID came, everything was shut up. And then, so I'll tell you one by one. So the first thing came to us is that the pharma industry, because Goa, though it is a small, but it's a prominent
It
pharma
is.
hub. So there are 60 plus high tech units there, manufacturing drugs for export to regulated markets as well as for the domestic consumption. The around 11% of the Indian exports come from Goa.
Yes,
Yeah.
it
So
does.
during, see, COVID is one of the great achievements, I can say, or the work we did, my department did. Everything is shut up. First we have to start, see that the pharma industry comes back to normal. So for that, the entire bureaucracy worked, and we see to it. I issued appeal, and then this the pharma industry also cooperated, and immediately we put in so many measures so that the industry started working immediately, and within few weeks came back to its 95% production output. Okay,
Right.
so that was a great commendable, and it was also appreciated by the state government as well as the central government. So this was one part. Secondly, we had to start, this our chief secretary. He was the head of the state executive committee, and I was an invitee on that committee. Every day, 5 o'clock, we would meet, irrespective of whether it is Saturday, Sunday, holiday, festival, nothing, no holiday. During the COVID time, I practically attended every day the meetings in the office. Though some of my colleagues, they were hesitating to join, they didn't join. But few of us who were committed, who were more than, we went beyond our call of duty to do the things for the COVID patients or the citizens, the public in general. So we started. Chief Secretary wanted that we start the helpline, because Goa is a tourist place. Lot of tourists were stranded. They didn't know for medical this where to go. Medical stores were closed. Everything, no one was able to move out.
Right.
So I'm using my SIM card and my handset. I started immediately a helpline, and within a few days we got thousands of calls.
Wow.
Okay, and then we could ask, made a call to this chemist fraternity. Please open up your medical stores. Start giving the this home delivery. Okay, and then many people joined. So you will believe me, my officers, they were running this helpline,
Wow.
because we have to, there was restriction on
I
movement,
literally got
so
goosebumps.
only within the few kilometers we are staying, so they would do 8 hour shift duty, receiving all the calls, giving them advice. If anything required, calling me, I would give them the advice. And then after, at the end of the shift, the next person who is handling the helpline, the handset would be passed on to her house or his house. Like that, we managed. And then this the call came on one of the thing that one lady was she she lives in the extreme corner of the South Goa, called
Okay.
Betal Bati, and she was 80 plus. She used to get her regular medicine supply from the primary health center, which was in her village. But the OPDs were closed. She could not
Yeah.
get any medicine. So when we got it on a group, I talked to the director health services. She instructed the primary health center to be open, and a special ambulance, the her monthly medicines were delivered to her, and she was very happy. And when this news came on our group, we had started a special WhatsApp group for this, emergency. So then the police personnel from that area, they went and met her, gave her the essentials, and then left the phone number with her and with her neighbors. Similarly, the talati of that area, he also visited, and he said, in case of any emergency, just call me. Another example I'll tell you, there was one elderly lady, she was staying alone in a flat because both her children were in US.
Okay.
And
So they
she
were
was
stuck there and she was here. Okay.
and she was asthmatic patient. She was on regular supply of oxygen. She needed oxygen concentrated. She had 2 3 with her, but somehow they were giving her issue, and she was constantly in touch for the technician to come and repair, but the technician could not travel. So it came to me through my neighbors, that she had put it on the WhatsApp group. Her neighbor had put it on the WhatsApp group, the plight of her, and it came to me. So I contacted the dealer who is dealing in this. So he said that he cannot arrange the technician because of the travel, all these restrictions. But because of me, he offered to give a new oxygen concentrator to her free of charge. He came within 24 hours. He came and he installed it at a place.
Wow.
Okay, and then she was relieved. So this came again to me through the WhatsApp group, that she has thanked me and she is very good. To tell you, after few months, she called me, and then she talked to me. She said, once you made the arrangement, from my anxiety went, and then I could sleep, I could this, I could live my normal life, and she blessed me abundantly. Okay, she talked for a long time. She was very happy,
Way more valuable.
right? And then, to tell you, same night she passed away in the sleep,
Oh my God. Okay.
peacefully. So another example I'll tell you, there's a cancer patient in Karwar, which is our neighboring area, and the son works in Goa. He used to every month travel there with the essentials and especially the medicines to her, to his father who is a cancer patient. But this COVID came, he could not travel. So it came on our group, on our helpline, that he needs help. So what I did, I talked to the North Goa collector. Then she collected the medicines from his house, because the government officials, they were traveling, they were allowed to travel in their own vehicles. So she traveled to his house, sent the person, collected the medicine, then she transferred it to the South Goa collector. The South Goa collector then contacted gave it at the border of Goa and Karnataka, Karwar.
Right.
There the police personnel from Karwar collected the medicines, and then he delivered it to his house. And then the same evening we got the message that received the medicine, thank you so much. So that was such a satisfying, this, like, that during that COVID period, I touched the lives of so many people in my personal capacity, as well as the head of the
They bless you
department.
all the time, plus it leaves an impact on you. That means you know that you have brought some goodness in the world,
Yeah,
right?
all this at a cost, where as if I was proof from COVID. I was not immune to infection, as if something. But this was sometimes, our lunch used to be biscuit pack and dinner used to be Maggie noodles.
Wow.
This was the
And
time we lived that time,
right.
and somehow touch wood, thanks to the blessings of the God, that I never got the COVID infection throughout. That is what.
Somewhere down the line, that God was the Almighty was also looking down at you and making sure that okay, these people are helping, and I need to protect them. So yeah.
So this is what, like my hobbies. I like to read.
Okay.
I like to listen to light music, some cooking, and also travel. So music is all anything that suits me, and this helps me, to release my tension.
It does. Any
Maybe
particular
because
genre in music?
anything, like, right from ghazals to this classical or soft music, anything that I feel like happy. Even the old Hindi movies, the songs from there, so very old.
Yeah, means
So not
how
a specific liking as such, but anything, like even instrumental. Yesterday, I was so, that I was having a divine feeling when in the
right.
program when they were playing the instrumental, right? And even that Jugalbandi of this flute,
This
that was also
yes, yes.
any form of art, any form of music that is there. Yes,
And they
Read,
did pretty well.
yeah,
Means they
yesterday,
kind of in the first one, the one who was playing that lady
yeah,
who was playing sitar,
sitar, yeah.
she just took it to a level where even I was zoned out for a
Right,
moment.
right.
Very beautiful.
Just close my eyes and I was just in that, aura. Listening, really good. Then reading every night, unless I've read some pages of the book, s- I can go to sleep.
I completely resonate to that
Yeah,
feeling.
that is what. In fact, they started, my teachers, they would give me some books. Read this book, read that book. That is how it. And when I was in the school, like, our school is to not give the trophies for the awards. They would give the books, different books. So
Wow.
for me, like, letters from a father to his daughter, the book from Jawaharlal Nehru written to Indira
But that's such a
Gandhi.
wonderful policy. Why nobody's
That
adopting
is
it?
what, that is. And I used to get two sets, because for the student standing first and the girl student standing first, and for getting the highest marks in science, getting the highest marks in maths. So on after our gathering, wherein the
You
used to be
collected
the
like most of
so
the
many most
books.
of the books, and everyone say all prizes she's only taking. This is what was happening. This is what.
So is this how your love for books developed?
Yeah, that is how. That is how. And my at home also we had reading atmosphere. My mother, even now, though at the age of 84, she reads. She asked me to send books to her to read. That is what. At my home also, my husband and my son, of course, it became later, but this was my reading habit from childhood. They are also voracious readers. I have got a library wherein they have read the books and they are all there. You take Frederick Fawcett, anybody you take, Enid Blyton, all those books are there. And then my husband, when he'd go on business trips, he would pick up one at the airport, and by the time he has returned, he has finished and it will go in the library. That is what. So
Any
this is
particular
how it.
genre in books that you like?
No, for me, anything that is light. Only thing I don't like crime things, but otherwise, short stories I prefer. But anything like this, I've written, like recently I finished reading. I've written about the Tata Saga, the book. Now I've started reading the Maruti story, how a public sector undertaking could be a very successful business house for manufacturing Maruti cars. Then I read about this, Daje has written the Wisdom Bridge. Though it is in Hindi, the name is Wisdom Bridge, Daje, this from this Kana Shanti Vanam.
Right.
So he has given advice, like that how in the present age how to bring up the small children, because our bringing up child when we were growing up, it was totally different thing. As far as my childhood, I have very fond memories of my childhood. It was the happiest period of my life, because just play, enjoy, eat the very good food cooked by my this. There was no tension, like nowadays, like pre KG, nursery, all those thing. Competition starts right from the age of 3 and 4. For us, like in the fifth standard, we got enrolled in the Balwadi, and then first to sixth was the first standard. So that is not now, but now we used to eat even all types of vegetables, whatever food is cooked, because everything is to turn out very tasty, whatever my mom would cook. So the same way, I also try at cooking. I tweak the our traditional Goan dishes. And my family says that the caramel custard I cook is my signature dish. And that is
Okay.
how it is.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna come to your home next time when I come to Goa.
Yes,
I
just
would
let
love
me know in advance.
to.
I'll prepare and keep. And then traveling, though, in my 40 years of busy uh, professional lives, still I try to squeeze out time for traveling
Right.
for some places within my country and some places abroad. Now that I've retired, I have plans to travel a lot to all the different places which I have not yet seen.
Right.
There a lot is to be seen within India itself, plus abroad
But
also.
there is actually a lot to see in India.
Right.
Means my father used to say this all the time, that travel all you want, you make sure that you cover the most beautiful and diverse country, India.
India,
There is
right.
so much to
So
see
much.
in this
Right
nation.
from deserts to sea and then snowfall to everything.
Right.
That
So
is
he
what.
was such a traveler, that means we used to take a lot of international vacations, but he made it a point that we are going to every corner, including northeast, east part of India as well. We've covered it all with my father, because he just put that kira in me, you can say, for the traveling.
Traveling, right.
So I relate to what you're saying. But working and traveling sometimes get difficult. So
Yeah, that is what I
what's the
said. No, I had
destination
to
on your
squeeze
plan?
in time. 1 week, 10 days time. Somehow I had to take out. Otherwise, all my leaves would get lapsed.
I know.
You won't believe, like in my 32 years of government service, at least for 27 to 28 years, I have attended office on a Saturday, though it is a holiday for the government officials, just to clear up the backlog of the that week and start afresh from Monday. That
Right.
has been my. And this we have done. You were talking about this Eat Right initiatives. We have done
Right.
a lot on this Eat Right initiative. See, when I became the director FDA, I became the commissioner of food safety, and Food Safety Standards Authority of India is doing. Who is the head for this food safety ecosystem? The chief regulator. They make policies, they derive standards for all the food items, everything. In addition, they have also become a facilitator in terms of this Eat Right India
Yes.
initiative, right? So let me tell you that they also have this food safety index, state food safety index, and in that Goa FDA and the Goa state has achieved the fate of being the received the first award for consecutive 5 years in this state food safety index in the small state category, which
Wow.
no other state or union territory has achieved. So this is all because of their all the Eat Right initiatives, all the compliance, all the consumer awareness, then all the standards, testing facilities, all the human resource. In all this, we have done the best in our state. So that is why we could achieve this for consecutive 5 years from 18 to 22.
Wow.
That was the thing.
Wow.
So these FSS and Eat Right initiative has got different initiatives, like that आज से थोड़ा कम, you know आज से थोड़ा कम,
Okay.
little from today. In what? Reduce little from today. In what is that? Salt, sugar, and oil. So if you control these three things, automatically that your heart disease, your hypertension, and your diabetes is under control. So inculcate these in right from the childhood. So
Childhood.
instead of supposing you see that something is
So
too
this is
much
the
in
tagline
sugar,
of the initiative. Aaj se
yeah,
thoda kam.
आज से थोड़ा कम. This is
Okay.
one initiative. Okay, then you see that Eat Right Campus. Okay, so this is mainly for the corporates and also for the large colleges where a large number of students or the employees they have food. And then, so under this Eat Right campus, you see any food corporate company, food corporate going for this is understood. But
Right.
in Goa, I was able to impress, and so many of our pharma manufacturing units also obtain this certification, Eat Right campus certification. Okay, in that NCube Ethicals Goa was the first one to obtain the certification. And then the MD of that company was really passionate. When I explained to him about this, he really got it, he got passionate. And he has even started a industrial canteen, all as per FSSAI standards, to give the nutritious and safe food to his employees.
Okay.
Followed by was the other, like, Micro Labs, then Cipla, Maxon. They also obtained the certification. Then our Goa Medical College, they have college and hospital, they have obtained the certification. Then 3 4 colleges have obtained all this. So to do all this, you need to do little extra over and about your
Absolutely.
routine work. So that involves giving your personal time for this.
Right.
And this is how the cooperation, support from the from the family, and then the friends, relatives, all is equally important.
Right. And I agree with your fact that means, what you said, that it has to be inculcated from the beginning. Because nowadays we are so accustomed to eating non-healthy that somehow that eating healthy sounds like that, okay, there is something additional that we are doing. It doesn't come naturally to people. It comes like, if you start eating healthy, other people start asking, are you dieting? You're losing weight. How much weight will you lose? No,
Yeah,
this
this
is
is
not
what.
weight loss. This is
Right.
eating healthy.
Eating
Your
healthy.
body
Yeah.
requires healthy food.
But one wrong notion is there, no, that the healthy food is not tasty. It is not so. This
I
also,
agree. I agree.
we have
It's
created awareness about this. At the instance of Indian government, this 2023 was declared as the International Year of Millets. Millets are very healthy, and then this they are also prevent so many diseases if you take them regularly in the proper this. So now today also you must have seen for the breakfast there was a millet. This dish was there.
I have replaced my bread with millet dosa.
Very
So
good.
what I've done is, that means if I'm eating sunny side up, with the sunny side up, I will have millet dosa instead of bread.
Ah,
So I learned this from Mike Thielen. He is a portfolio. He was at Sun
okay.
Pharma at
Okay.
Taro Pharmaceuticals
Okay.
before, and now he's an independent consultant and a wonderful, wonderful person. So he called for a sunny side up, and he called for a millet dosa. And I was like, "Miss Mike, what is this combination?" He said, "I don't want to take bread." So what I've done is I've replaced it. Looking at him, I just got inspired, and from last 2 years, I have completely replaced bread with it.
Now, even in this, you will find that for breakfast, this ragi dosa is served. So that also is very important. And another initiative, very important initiative, is share food, save food.
We spoke about it.
Right,
Yes, that
right.
is what I really want to tell the audience as well.
Right. Yeah. So what happens is that we don't realize, like for banking and all, we take the food and then we don't like, we throw it in the bin. So like this, a lot of hundreds and thousands of kgs of
Wastages.
food is wasted. And at one side, we find that there are some poor people who don't get their 2 square meals a day. So instead of wasting the food, we should see that it reaches the right people. So there are some non-profit organizations who are working, who have tied up with the these corporates, with the restaurants, hotels, and the banquet halls, where those buffets are served. So there they collect this food, which is a good food in this safe food. Then they store it in the refrigerators, and then they serve it to the people needy. So this is a very good initiative, and then FDA also has helped a lot.
In
Means
this
I have done
initiative.
personally also a lot on this, in creating awareness about this. And we had meetings also. We invited all the, especially five-star hotel, all their chefs and all, and told them that, see this, if you can display at the buffet, one, take as much as you want, but eat whatever you have taken. Just a small plaque you leave there, so automatically, that starts moving. So you take a little first, taste it, if you liked it, then go for the second serving. There is no this. But in the beginning only you take more and then you waste it. It is, I feel it's a crime wasting food.
It
Shouldn't be
absolutely
doing that.
is.
Right.
It absolutely is. So my mother's side of family, actually, they both side of families are not like wasting food, but my mother's side of family, they're very vocal about it. So Pitaji, my mom's father, he used to say this all the time: vegetarian, non-vegetarian, I don't care. Means you want to stay non-vegetarian, I'm okay. It's just that you fold your hands in honor and respect of what has come to your plate, because be it a plant or an animal, it died to be part of your body. So you need to honor
Right.
it.
You need to
You need to,
respect.
the folding of hand is not only to thank God that it gave
Yeah.
you the meal, but it is the respect for something that is in your plate,
Right. Very much
right?
correct.
So I
Yeah.
think that means, people need to be more vocal about it.
Right.
We know it, but it's in the subconscious mind.
That
We
is
don't
what.
realize that this thing was alive and it's going to be part of our body, and we don't respect it.
Right.
That's why the wastage happens. And this initiative that you're talking about
Yes.
is brilliant.
Yes.
So how can people, means, in case like you're saying from the restaurants and banquets, what about that means in case if people have private parties, which are large parties?
Yeah, that is what. So you can tie up, with these non-profit organizations. A couple of them, they are there in every state. In our state also there is there. So we at FDA, we used to create awareness about this, that such a agency is there. Otherwise, you also can tie up with some, home for the aged, or for this for the schools or the institutions which are running to help the poor people. You can
Correct.
tie up with them, or you can give them, provide a refrigerator also for storage of that. So many people have done that, and it is working good.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
And in fact, no, at every family should start this with their children, that
Absolutely.
not to waste food. The way you said that your dadaji would tell, like how, to respect the food. The same way, if every family starts talking to their children about this non wasting the food, then it will be a really
It
great
is
thing.
very important,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
I really hope that means, people take away this part, and we would highlight this part as well, because this eat right and no wastage is the need of the hour. We need to start respecting it. Thank you very much. And if you just give us some links as well where people can tie up. So we
Right.
will, what we'll do is we'll mention in the comments in the podcast as well,
Yeah.
that where they can go to actually tie
Yeah.
up as well.
So FSSA has got a special portal for this Save Food, Share Food. So you can type that in the Google, and then you can get that portal and can know more things about this.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Right.
Yes.
And for somebody who loves cooking and loves to preserve, avoid wastage as well, this is like an apt chef material.
Right.
So tell me something, did you ever want to be a chef?
Uh, Not exactly. I like cooking, but not exactly.
But did you always know that you will end up in pharmaceutical industry?
uh, yes. See, there was a choice. I should like science. I wanted to take science, but I didn't want to be a doctor, and then didn't want to be an engineer. So pharma was this that time, according to the options available those days when I this passed out. So pharma was only this, but that and I wanted always to do something different from the routine. So this is how I landed to be the first woman drug inspector and the first woman director and the first commissioner of food
And
safety. That is
how
how
was
it
this
is.
journey? That means being a woman, going into a leadership role.
Yeah.
Even now, sometimes it is difficult for women, but a lot of options are there. But back in the days, there used to
Yes.
be a certain, I
Yes.
don't want to say it, but
As it
it
is,
was
there
very
were the
difficult.
opportunities were very less because the number of positions in the government also were very less. So this journey was really satisfying, at the same time challenging. So give you one example that when my son was just 11 months old,
Okay.
and then I had to go for, I was deputed for a training 1 month in Mumbai. Okay, so I left my those days, you can imagine, no mobiles, and the landlines also were limited. So I left my son with my family, and but I conduct this completed it successfully, the training. After that also, I never shied away from any uh, opportunities for training or attending conferences or workshop, late night inspections, or any duty, like that I
I think
always.
this is serving as a lesson to everybody, that no matter if it is a man or a woman in partnership, means every family has to be very very supportive.
Supportive. And this is what, as I said earlier, the because of the support of the family only it was possible.
Yes.
Sometimes I had to even make my, because my husband, he was traveling because of his work, and then sometimes when I had to also, like, we would this, are you traveling this week, can I accept this, so like that we should decide. And but sometimes when the emergency came, I had to keep my son at my neighbors and go for the late night duty. That was also there.
So there was, you remember, in old time there used to be a saying, behind every successful man, there is a woman,
uh, so
right?
it is vice versa.
Exactly. So it is vice versa as well. So as a child probably I was just listening to it, but now as you grow up then you understand the meaning of it, that mostly men were working outside the home and women were the homemaker most of the times, right? So what they wanted to say was that because this man is successful, because this woman is not all the time doing kit pit chit pit, that okay, oh, you're not giving me time, you're not doing this. It's not like I'm promoting that you should give time to family, but means, it's not like that means, somebody's holding you back.
Back, right.
But I think this is the same thing with the women as well. Behind every successful woman, there is a man,
Right,
right?
very
That man
much.
is
And in my case,
equally
it is more than
important.
more than 100% true. That
Absolutely.
is what. So,
Absolutely.
yes. And challenges, I would tell you, one of the challenge was this COVID. See, that time we had to have the real time compile the data from all the manufacturers, from the retailers regarding the availability of the essential medicines, and then send the data to the state administration, even to the center. And depending on that, then they will decide, compile the data, and then decide about the allocation of the essential medicines and vaccines to the different states.
Right.
So and it was real time data, anytime in those days I would be at on my mobile, on my laptop. At the same time, I would be at the guest stove because there was no other help. We had to do everything on our own. So this is how we managed the COVID time. And I'll give you just one example of how there has been total coordination and this between the center and state and all the departments and the bureaucracy. In between it came that this plasma, if you transfuse, then the COVID recovery is faster.
Yes.
And that time our Goa, this did not have the plasmapheresis facility. So I saw to it that our Goa Medical College, they prepare the facility, they supervise their application process, and then it was done, at the weekends. Within 48 hours we got the plasmapheresis permission. You have to note it that it is a joint inspection by the central inspectors and the state inspectors. All this was coordinated in such a manner. Then I remember the then Drugs Control General in India, Dr. Somani.
Right.
He signed the license at 2 a.m. on a Sunday, and then he WhatsApped it to me. So this was the level of coordination and cooperation between all the agencies just to save the humanity.
It was so beautiful to see how the world is
And such a
coming together for
it's
each other.
satisfaction.
And that actually 2020 brought in a lot of negativity in terms of news, but it showed the potential of humanity,
Right.
that
Very
how
much.
when something like this happens then people can come together and help each other. And it's people like you, means thank you very much for this kind of contribution to the humanity, to the society, and for doing so much tirelessly with your team and other people who actually, like you said, that he sent you the signed form on a
Yeah.
Sunday, right? Means,
Right.
in general it's very difficult to get the leaders to even sign something on a weekday. So but in a time
And
like
2 a.m.
this,
You can
right?
imagine. So we were awake throughout the night because we didn't know what time what phone call would come. So and that it was everything for saving lives that we were doing. And we had to organize this oxygen. So this the some of the oxygen manufacturer which were not working, we had to be after them to restart. We had to get the oxygen quality tested because it has to be a medical oxygen. So all that, then making available the sanitizers. So whoever our these distilleries, we gave them license to manufacture
The article said you
sanitizers.
also told people how to make sanitizer.
Yeah, we even
I
gave them.
remember reading that.
Yeah, we even told them, we gave them license to make the sanitizers, everything. And then the mask, availability of the mask, everything. And at the same time, we have to see that there is no shortage, and there is no black marketing or hoarding. And I'm very proud to say that with my vigilant team, we saw to it there was not even a single example of anybody overcharging the essential drugs, or there is doing any hoarding or black marketing during that time, because there are black ships everywhere. People, even during the COVID time, they would try, some of the black ships, they would try to make money. But in Goa it didn't happen. Everyone worked with humanitarian approach. That was very important. And as I say, my because of all this, I received many awards also. Yeah.
You deserve
So
it for obvious reasons.
so my I got the Neha Shauri award for being the best woman drug control officer. Yeah, which was presented to me at the Indian Pharmaceutical Congress. at Nagpur at the hands of Nitin Gadkari ji. Okay.
Wonderful man, right? Wonderful
Right,
person.
right, right. Then I was felicitated by my Honorable Chief Minister on Goa Liberation Day. This was the first FDA inspector being honored by the Chief Minister. Then I got the Goan of the Year award, which
Okay.
was done by a popular media house, well-known media house. It was nomination by the jury, and then there was a vote, popular vote also, and that was in the bureaucrat category. This is the thing, and many more. These were just to cite a few. That is it. So my team always dependent on me, and what I did was that I saw to it that for receiving that state food safety index consecutively for the 5 years, I got my entire team felicitated at the hands of Honorable Health Minister for,
Okay.
you know, they also need some motivation to do still
Absolutely,
better. So they were,
absolutely.
everyone was very happy, right from our vehicle driver to the gazetted officers.
Putting your
Okay.
team forward is very, very important. I agree. That is actually an attribute of a true leader,
Right.
right? So I also, what I want from you is if you can just share one piece of advice to our aspiring leaders as well from the pharmaceutical industry and other industries as well, allied industries. Um, and also keeping in mind, if we can give one additional advice to our fellow women colleagues as well. I don't differentiate, means I don't think that they
Right.
need a different advice in terms of understanding what leadership is, but commendable job because I see most of the times what happens is women start thinking that it's been a trend that means everything has been against them and it's still the same. So what piece of advice would you like to give to
Yeah.
our fellow women?
See, leadership is not a position or a title. It is you lead by example, you lead by your actions, right? And we women are born leaders. Of course, we have some because of the nature. We have little slight this some small things like we not exactly 100% on par with this because of the nature. We have to carry the child, we have to take care of the
Okay.
child,
Because
pregnancy,
of
all those things issues are there, so we'll remain little behind, but we can all overcome this with the help of the support, and we be on par or much ahead of the men. Okay. So as I told you, when I this looking at me, many of the women colleagues join FDA, and today at FDA, the women officers are more than the men. Okay, so this shows that there is leadership in women. A leader has to be last to criticize and the first to appreciate, right? So appreciation is something is required. Leader, you must always have that the team, when it comes, team will always look upon you for some solutions, for some decisions, or for their grievance redressal.
yes.
So give a patient hearing, listen to them, and for that you should be updated. You should be knowing what exactly it is, what is going on, and also identify the talent in your team. In private industries, like you can select your team, like I want this, I want that, but in government you get the team which is already there. So within that you have to identify the qualities of each one, the potentials or the special these abilities, and then give the assignment and then take the team forward. So there is no substitute for anybody, it is for the men or women,
Right.
to be a successful leader. There is no substitute for hard work, sincerity, integrity, dedication. These qualities have to be there in a leader if you want to succeed. And also give a patient listening, hearing to what they have to say. Sometimes, the solutions come from them itself.
Right. Right. No, I agree with you. So it means the four important things that you highlighted right now is first, that means you need to avoid craving attention, avoid craving the appreciation. You need to
Ah,
give appreciation.
right.
And second, very important, like means identify the talent as well within your team. Third is staying updated with the current trends. And
Right.
because if you don't have the information, how will you train your team?
Dedication, hard work, sincerity,
Right.
all those things. So there is no substitute for this. Yeah. And for the young leaders who want to come in pharma, there is a lot of opportunities. So there are many, you can make up career in anything, maybe in trade, maybe in manufacturing, maybe in R&D, clinical trials, patents. So, but only thing, just keep in mind that we in pharma, we are directly connected with the patient safety. So whatever you do has to be in the interest of the patient safety. So quality compliance is the important thing which we need to keep in mind.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you very much, Jyoti. And before we let you go, one more thing that we need from you is our listeners and viewers are not only from the pharma industry, they are from the academic background as well. So, one small advice to our viewers from colleges and universities who are going to start their career in this year or the following year.
Yeah, that is what. See, if you want to make the career in pharma, there is a lot of opportunities. One thing, work hard, try to do your best in whatever you do, and see, there is a lot of difference between what you do, what you learn in the academics, and what exactly is the practical thing followed in the industry. So, wherever possible, try and make the best of the industry, academia, influence together. Okay, and then try yourself to be suited to the industry. So you can go for all the skill development. So many things are happening in the skill development and all. You can do some little extra thing over there, and then join when you join the industry, or even if you join the academics as a lecturer, professor. So you should have these the main qualities what I talked earlier. These are very important. Yeah. And whatever you do with sincerity and do to the best of your ability, success is guaranteed.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jyoti. That means a lot. And thank you for sharing so much about Eat Right initiative and avoiding food wastage, because I think that is very, very important. Need of the hour has to be discussed at every forum so that people
Yes,
understand it.
right, very much.
Thank you very much for your time. And this was Jyoti Sardesai. I really hope you enjoy this podcast and take away the learnings and implement in your lives as well. What do you think about this podcast? Please mention in the comments below. See you in the next episode. Thank you.